We've noticed a change in this, haven't we?
What's important, I think, for us to really look at is consumer behavior.
That's how we react as humans. We want it fast, we want it now.
And if you're still using the same marketing tactics, the same messaging, the same approach to that consumer from 10 years ago, you're missing out.
The consumer out there is thinking, there might be a better alternative.
We've found the institutions, we've brought them together in one place. And all of a sudden, you're instantly going in with 6, 7 offers, telling the person who wants to sell their house that I have 6, 7 offers right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again. This is the Real Estate Consumer Shift coming at you. This is Jason Wells with my good pal,
Tim Evans. Wellsy, what's going on?
Hey, man. Hey, we are in the heat of summer happening now here in Arizona. Oh, my gosh.
I think our weather got the forecast 110, 112 this weekend. And I'm going to be flying out to Nashville to the CMA Fest. I'll be thinking of you.
Yeah, go CMAs.
Yeah.
That's going to be not too bad. I'm going to find a way to get out of here. Later in the summer, we're going up to Glacier.
Oh, there you go. So that'd be a good time. Take
heat.
the family up and cool deal. Get out of this summer Arizona heat.
Completely.
Well, you know what? We've got a pretty good show today, and I think I'm excited for this podcast. I think this is going to be one of the best ones, and man, stay around and listen what we have to say.
I think some of this challenges some of the conventional wisdom that people think about, especially if you're in an area of the country right now that is not faced with a ton of disruptive marketing, disruptive companies that are coming in from the prop tech sector, in particular, talking about like the iBuyers and like the Open Door and the different things they're doing. There is, you were talking about this earlier, a divergence that's happening within what the consumer wants between what we as real estate professionals have always delivered. As a profession, we have always delivered what we felt the consumer needed, how they wanted it, to take care of them. Every agent I know that's a quality agent, Tim, has at their heart a desire to really help somebody improve their life.
100%.
Elevate through real estate, as you say.
Yeah, our passion is that as human beings, right? We want to help people. That's just our tendency. And as being in a service industry, that's what you do, is you want to help people. And this podcast will challenge your paradigm, because what we're going to share with you, once we share it with you, I think you have a good understanding of, you're going to say, yes, that's absolutely correct. And it will change your thinking a little bit about what the consumer is actually going through.
That's absolutely right. So when you have these cash buyer companies that have given rise and that are out there disrupting, we've talked about how people believe that there can be this belief that the cash offers are low ball offers. Well, we know that that's not the case. We know that with our platform that we've created that brings in multiple different cash offer companies, because we don't buy cash houses, that the market value is what they are offering. They're within a 5% range of market value that they're offering on these homes. So these are not low ball offers. And the consumer is now faced with this choice of, do I go with this convenience or do I get the most money? And where do I go? And you talk about the divergence that you're seeing.
Yes, I think, we've said this time and time, just go to your city. We said, what was the city? What was the city last? Winnemucca. Yeah, you go to Winnemucca, and Jason pulled it up after our podcast last week, and he says, look, there's cash offers for Winnemucca.
Even in little Winnemucca, Nevada. We love you.
Yeah. And I was like, no way. And he showed it, so you can go any city, and you're going to sell my home in Winnemucca, and you're going to see there's going to be cash offer companies that are going to populate right on Google, and that's where people go. So the consumer's being challenged to say, hey, maybe I ought to consider that option. Look at it, right? But there is a stigma of am I going to take less for the home? That's what their thoughts are. Mm-hmm. If I go that direction for the convenience, I'm going to take less. Then you have the traditional. They know if they call their favorite agent who sold the home to them 5 years ago, they may catch a buyer that may live in the home, et cetera, et cetera. But the challenge is that certainty piece. Is the home actually going to sell? Is it going to sell in their time frame? Are they going to be able to move into that new build, their dream home? Is all these things going to take place and hit in their timeline that they're looking for, right?
And it's that uncertainty that truly exists. If we're honest, we can, as agents, say oh no, I operate and I get my stuff done on time. For the consumer, there is no guarantee. If you don't sell it as a traditional agent, then what? Are you buying the house for the list price? Well, so that certainty of, can I get as much as I need Will I move in the time frame that I need it? Will it be hassle free, or am I going to have to be jumping through hoops and running out the door and trying to accommodate showings at all kinds of different times? Or is there a way that I can skip the hassle?
Right. And that's the golden question, right? That is, what is the solution? Is there options? Is there choice? Is there a way to get the best of both worlds, right?
Because ultimately, isn't that what the consumer's looking for? The consumer's trying to find a way that I can, when they enter the buy-sell cycle, just like when anybody enters into the need to buy a car, a need to buy a computer, a need to buy really much anything. There's this, I call it a combination, Tim, that there's this combination that you have to unlock for every consumer. And every consumer's combination is different. So one may prioritize speed. Another may prioritize the price. Another may prioritize the fee. Another may, right? There's this order of prioritization that happens. And what I know is that our industry has been very good at establishing what they do well. Not so good, though, at catering it to what the consumer actually wants. And so if we're continually telling them, look, this is what I do well, this is why you need me, this is why I sell well, and that happens through their listing consultation. And so if an agent's out there listening, if you haven't changed your listing consultation in the last 5 years, okay, definitely since 2020, since the pandemic, if you haven't, you really need to sit down, get with an AI or something and figure that out. Changing your listing consult, because if you had someone in your office that says, oh, well, you need to do a listing consult, come listen to mine, and you're modeling it off of them, you're doing the same old stuff, which says, I know how to do this and let me show you how it's done. The consumer's not sitting there going, do you know how to do it? The consumer's wondering, as you've put it, there's like that divergent. They've come to a decision making, and in their mind, I either have to go with a way that can be convenient and I can get this done, and is that even an option out there? I wish there was that option out there that would be hassle-free, that would be convenient, that I could have certainty. Or do I go with my agent, who's a great person and I know cares about me, but that's going to be a slog to go through. That's where they're at. They're at that decision point, and you're going to meet them there.
Right. And if you go with the agent, you might get more money for the home, and you just, so
correct.
Like it throws you in a split. It is. So this is something, when you were just explaining that, I always like to tell a story because of my wife and I and how different we are. And we are so different. So I'm the service guy. I will pay for service. If it's a great service, and I know it's going to provide all the answers and solutions, I will pay for that, right?
Take it off. Take it out of my hands.
Take it out of my hands. The convenience, certainty, I'm done. For me, for selling a house, I would go the cash option because I know it's done. Service is done. I'll pay for that. Yeah. I'll forego the 5%, 6%, right? Because I know. My wife, on the other hand, not that way. And here's why. She drives me crazy. We go to the gas station. I have to use her debit. Like, you have your own debit card.
Yep.
I have to use her debit card. She has this thing called an Upside app. Have you ever used that?
Yes, I've heard of Upside. I haven't used it, but I know what you're talking about.
And restaurants and stuff. And so she goes, I'm getting ready to pay for the gas. She says, no, to swipe mine because I get money for it. It's all about what to her is the money. And when we get, and so all these stores and restaurants, we have to, she gets her little codes and she types it in, so she gets a couple bucks on the next time we go. And lo and behold, one of the restaurants, one of her favorites, so she had $36 off the day. Say, hey, that's pretty cool. She goes, see, so she likes to rub it in my face, but it's like, I wouldn't spend the time on it.
Right.
I wouldn't even the headache.
Right.
And she has thousands of emails that come in on her email account from all of this. So anyways, but that's her. She's designed that way. And you make a great point. On your listing presentation, who are you pitching to? In her case, you would win or lose with the price. With my case, you'd win or lose on the service and the convenience. So great topic. So hopefully your paradigm we're shedding light, because this is the consumer today.
That is the consumer today. And you as a listing agent out there, you're going in and you're sitting in front of the Evans family here, and you're talking to them, and you always want to have the decision makers there present. Well, when the decision makers are built two completely different ways, which is more often the case than not, and you're just saying you're only talking one way to them, yeah, you start to lose them. But Tim, what does it look like in that that V here, right? As you come up to that, that decision point right there for you and your wife even is that same thing. Am I going to get some convenience and maybe get a little less? I might be able to get the full amount, but that would be great. Or am I going to do I want to get everything out of it like Bobby Joe's looking for?
Yeah, and her and I would tussle with this because we have difference of opinions, and it's no different like when we go to the gas station or to these, like I just shake my head at her. But we have difference of opinions. So when we get to that why, it's going to be the agent that can share what the win is for both of us. Because she would be more apt to list the home to get the money. If she thought she was leaving $1 on the table, she would go that route to go get that dollar, right? That's just how she's wired. I could care less about the dollar.
Sure.
You give me the easy way, you want to pack up and move me for an additional 6%, I'm all in.
But there's plenty of others who it's the same thing. It's like, no, I want that next dollar, and can I get another dollar out of it?
Right.
Right?
So in that why, in that V of that why, as the agent, where are you? And I will share, I'm going to say this, in the thinking, most of you are one way or the other.
Correct.
And I would say more toward the listing that's where you are.
Yep. And what that causes, Tim, is if they're in this decision process, and the decision process here is where it diverges, and this is listing, and they're going to go up the listing side, most agents don't even encounter the consumer until this side, after the decision point.
Right, which is a mistake.
It's a huge mistake, because what that means is that the consumer's been out there working to find things on their own without you. Now, what if, though, you could provide an array of options? And this is where we as an industry need to change. We need to start moving to be able to provide an array of options. Someone who is a true advisor has an array of options, array of possibilities that they can package, move, tweak so that it fits the Evans family who are on the actual different sides of that divergence. Because when you can say, look, with me, you can completely skip all the hassles. I can get you the highest price for your home. I can get you the convenience. I can get you the certainty. I can get you everything you want. We just got to work with one of our options here, or use a couple of options. And when you have multiple cash offers, when you have multiple different ways that you can sell the house as a listing agent, you start providing a whole new world to the consumer that the consumer doesn't even realize is available, and they're looking for it.
You're speaking to both sides many times, and that's what happens. I'll just share, if you are running at a 30-40% conversion rate on your opportunities out there when you're in front of a client, that's you're one side heavy.
Completely.
Because we know, we see it, we live in it, we run businesses through it, and we're running in the 90 percentile. And so when you have that kind of conversion, it means that you're hitting all the right buttons and you're saying the right things, and you're providing options how to sell the home, and not any other thing other than uncertainty and all the other challenges out there. So, hey, you know what though, Jason? Here's what's going to be fun. We're not going to give it to you today. You got to come back next week, right?
That's right.
And let us share what we're talking about and what that offer looks like. And we have multiple offers like that. So we'll break those offers down that you have a really good understanding, and this will change your paradigm. And it's available to you, right, Jason?
It is out there right now. You need to start looking at your business and how you can provide these different options. What is for example, I'll just throw out a couple of them without giving away the farm. Do you have a flat fee option? Do you have your primary listing option? Do you have a luxury list level option? Do you have cash options? Do you have a speed option? You need to have,
do you have a concierge option?
You have a concierge option, right? You need to have these different options, because that is what the consumer is looking for. They don't even right now. It's this interesting time right now in the real estate industry, because the consumers are so ingrained in thinking there's only one way to do it, but they want something different. Well, as soon as you show up with something different, oh my gosh,
there it goes.
The doors open, and you start providing a whole array of options to people that otherwise wouldn't have talked to you. Because if everybody didn't know this out there, Google did a study, and since the pandemic, 54% of your database agents, loan officers, 54% of your database is ready to cheat on you. They are looking at other options.
100%. That's way we're built as society.
And the reason they're looking for other options is they believe you're a one-size-fits-all. I just do my listing consult, and then I list it, and I've got my 57,000-point marketing plan that will knock your socks off, and I do drone, and I do... Come on.
Doesn't matter. And it's the people you know and trust the most that will hurt you.
That is right.
It always, the truth in saying is like they will go find a different option. You think they'll come to you, and it's not the case because of the relationship. It's what's in it for them, and it's what is about them, and that's how they shop, and that's how they process. This was a great podcast segment. We will leave you hanging, and let's get back next week and talk about this, because we'll break down some of these offers. But if they want to find us, Jason, what's the best way? If they want to know, like, how can I get access to this? How do I get all of it right with a flip of a switch?
If you want to jump to the head of the line, first thing is to hit that subscribe button to this podcast, or hit the bell notification there on YouTube. You want to follow, understand, find more of this content. The other places, go to cashoffers.pro or come to highestprice.com. These are the places where you'll find us. We're there. Check the show notes. Our contact information is also there in the show notes.
And as promised, I messed up the quote, screwed up that quote last week.
Last time.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes.
And I left people hanging like,
yes.
What is this?
What is this
goon? Yeah, what is this guy saying? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So that is our motto here. We work hard at this every day, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do. Taking talent, working hard, so that we can bring it back to you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate
We'll see you next week.